Hello there, greetings everybody, my name is Saeed, I am an online English language teacher. This is another episode from the series of lessons devoted to the vocabulary for the IELTS speaking section. And the topic of today's lesson is weather. That's right guys, the most famous conversation starter for the British is our guest today. So overall this is the lesson number 17. And actually, the IELTS examiners may frequently ask you some questions regarding the weather in your country, or maybe about some of your experiences that you have had during your traveling to other countries or other cities. So of course we better be prepared for such questions. And also I'd like to remind you that you need to pay a closer attention to the words and phrases that are highlighted in the orange-yellow color, okay? And now we shall move on to the speaking part 1. So here we are, part 1 style questions. The first question goes, what's the weather like in your country? Katie is giving the answer. It's quite changeable, really. We have periods of time with clear blue skies, then all of a sudden we'll have torrential rain. Whoa. Okay, that's really very changeable weather. So question number 2. Which months have the best weather in your country? Now Mauro, that's the Spanish name, he gives the following answer. Well, I suppose it's a matter of personal taste, really. I like it around the end of October and November. I'm not fond of the heat waves we often get during the summer. It's not freezing cold during these months, and we still get lots of sunny spells. Alright, so it means that October and November are not freezing cold in his country. Maybe he can be, I don't know, from Spain probably? Although in Spain, in some regions of Spain, you can have like the summer all year round, which is, Okay, so the final question of the speaking part 1. Does it bother you much when it rains? Gloria is giving an interesting answer. She's thinking the following way. It depends. If I get caught in the rain and I get drenched, I don't like it. But I'm a gardener, so a drop of rain is good for my plants. Wow, very optimistic. But what if she gets drained in the middle of her garden? Okay, well that's an open question. Now guys, let's go to the speaking part 2 and review the cue card. So here we are. The cue card says, describe a time when you experienced extreme weather conditions. You should say when this was, where you were, what the weather was like, and say how you felt about the experience. Now, my friends, I suggest you pause the videos to let yourselves have some 60 seconds of time to write out anything that can pop in your head in regards to this question. And additionally to that, maybe 90 or 120 seconds, like 2 minutes, to act out a speech, a monologue, to surprise positively your examiner, trying to think that you are taking the real IELTS speaking test. And then you can resume playing and check out how your answer, your own answer, provided that you have recorded it, which will be even more, cool. Provided that you did this, and you will be able to compare your own answer to the Band 9 model answer in this video lesson. That will be a great learning experience. And we will see it like in a few seconds. So here is the answer. Robert, or Bob, that's a shortened way to say the name Robert, is giving a very big answer as far as I can see. So here goes. I was studying English in a language school a few years ago. We were in Cornwall in the UK. We'd been enjoying lovely sunny days, not a cloud in the sky, when all of a sudden there was a change in the weather. We were in town walking around the shops when it started to pour down. I'd never seen such heavy rain before. Within about 10 minutes the roads were full of water. I think they call it a flash flood. It was like being in the middle of a tropical storm. The water was almost up to my knees. The weather forecast hadn't predicted it, so everyone was taken by surprise. I'm not sure you could call it extreme weather, as a few hours later it started to clear up, The sun came out and slowly the water level went down. But a lot of people's houses were flooded, so it would have been extreme for them. I found it all quite exciting. In my country, we generally have a very mild climate and don't often get floods like this, so it was quite an experience for me. Wow, well, that was quite an experience for you, Bob. I would really agree on that. Well, my friends, I'm sure that you have seen or heard some interesting phrases to pick up for your own vocabulary. Now let's go to the speaking part 3. So the first question of the part 3 is this. Do you think the weather affects how people feel? The guy named Felix thinks the following way. Absolutely, yes. I don't mind the occasional cold spell, but I think the winter months can make you feel down. I hate having to leave the house in the winter time. There's often a thick fog every morning, and we have sometimes get bitterly cold winds. The winter certainly makes me feel a little depressed. Though having said that, it's always nice to see the town covered in a blanket of snow. Alright, Felix, good to see that you are able to see something positive. Okay, question number 2. Do you think the weather is changing due to global warming? Marta is giving her opinion. I don't think if it's due to... I don't know if it's due to global warming or not, but the weather in my country is certainly changing. We've been getting quite mild winters lately. The temperatures are sometimes below freezing, but only occasionally. And then, during the summer, it can get boiling hot, with a lot of older people even suffering from heat stroke. Okay, alright. The last question of the speaking part 3. In which ways are weather forecasts useful? Sinita is giving her answer. Well, if you're planning a trip or going on holiday, it's important to know whether you'll need to dress up warm or take an umbrella. Farmers need to know what the long-range forecast is so they can plan their work. I suppose people who organize outside events need to know as well in case things get rained off. I think it's a very, very good answer. Like 3 scenarios, 3 cases have been described, and that looks really, really good. Well, my friends, we are done with the main part, and now let's review the vocabulary, okay? So here we go, the weather vocabulary. To be below freezing means below 0 degrees Celsius. Bitterly cold means like very cold and unpleasant. A blanket of snow stands for a complete covering of snow. Boiling hot means very hot, and that would be an informal way to put it. Changeable means the weather that often changes. A change in the weather, what a difficult phrase to crack, huh? It means when weather conditions change. Clear blue skies, a sky without clouds. I'm sorry guys, but that's the real gist of the lesson. To clear up, when clouds or rain disappear. To come out, we're talking about the sun. When the sun appears out of a cloudy sky. A cold spell means a short period of cold weather. To dress up warm means to wear warm clothes to protect yourself against wintry conditions. Wintry means like cold, like pertaining to winter. Okay? A drop of rain, that would be a little bit of rain. A flash flood, it's a sudden and severe flood. Okay. Freezing cold, a very cold, something very cold. And this is informal too. To get caught in the rain means to be outside when it rains unexpectedly. To get drenched means to get very wet, like soaking wet. Heat stroke means a serious condition caused by being too long in hot weather. Okay. Sometimes I heard the expression like the sunstroke too, but that's... Yeah, the heat stroke would be not exactly the sunstroke, because to get a sunstroke you have to be directly exposed to the sun rays. Heavy rain means intense rainfall. Long-range forecast, this is like the weather forecast for several days or weeks ahead. Mild climate stands for a climate without extreme weather conditions. Mild winter, that would be a winter that isn't particularly cold. Not a cloud in the sky, this is the same as clear blue skies. To pour down means to rain heavily, like to rain cats and dogs. Alright. To be rained off, that would be to be cancelled or postponed due to poor weather. Sunny spells, short periods of sunny weather. Thick fog would be a dense fog that makes visibility very poor. Torrential rain, this is the same as heavy rain or pouring cats and dogs. Tropical storm, that's a storm typical of ones that you find in tropical climates. And finally, the weather forecast is a TV or radio program or section in a newspaper magazine which predicts weather conditions. Well, my friends, we are done with the lesson about weather. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the material was very useful and interesting for you, especially the clear blue sky. And I'll be very glad to see you in the upcoming video episodes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like my special thanks to all of you guys who are following my Facebook page and my YouTube channel, my Telegram channel. Thank you so much for doing that. And it's a real pleasure to be of some help for you guys out there preparing for the IELTS, or maybe just expanding their horizons in the lexical resource of this amazing international language which English is, right? So thank you so much, and see you in the next episode. Bye.